jump ship. Not jump ship, jump buildings. Then happy feeling. Happy feeling. Happy feeling is okay. But you're having a lot of craving and addiction, then it's not okay. Disaster is just waiting at the next door. In terms of worldly feelings, it can be wholesome, so it's okay. But you're not getting very far. Death is waiting for you at the next doorstep. So, do something more than that. So that's where this spiritual practice comes in. And so you don't stop there. You make use of it as a meditation practice object, and then you go beyond it. So that's why from happy, neutral, worldly feelings, you turn into happy, spiritual feelings. And it can be very slow, even in Vipassana, you watch pain, you watch things, after that, when concentration comes, picks up, and then it can be they give you a lot of joy. And joy, when it comes to Vipassana, can be very intense. Next is a neutral feeling, of course. Neutral feeling, when you're able to be mindful of it, then the mindfulness brings in the wholesome mental states. When the mind is in a wholesome mental state, it is soft, it is peaceful, it is clear, it is flexible, it is light, and so on. All the beautiful states come with this wholesome state and with mindfulness. It can also have joy also. But if there's no joy, then it progresses into neutral spiritual feeling. Spiritual again is because you're involved in a spiritual practice. For example, in Vipassana, or in Samatha. So you watch it, it becomes, your mind is developed and inclined strongly to the spiritual path. So this comes about by Vipassana, by watching it arising and passing away mindfully, moment to moment. That's where the process of transformation takes place.
Bhante,
Yes.
why are the words different? Under worldly neutral feelings, you've got dukkha, nasukha. Under spiritual neutral feelings, you have upekkha. Whereas the upper two have dukkha, dukkha, and sukha, sukha. In other words, they're both the same words for spiritual and worldly. Whether they're worldly painful or worldly happy, they translate into spiritual happy, spiritual painful with the same word. But for worldly neutral feelings, they're two different words to spiritual. You've got adukkha, asukha, and upekkha.
Because I want to emphasize on the wholesome state of it, equanimous state of it.
And that's a different word?
It's a different word. Upekkha also includes adukkha or masukha. Put it that way.
It includes it.
Oh, it includes it. I mean, you want to put the sukha, the other sukha that we can use,
I was just wondering why.
But not to make things complicated, we just left it as that. The second one, the upekkha I use is because you see it does not stop there. It goes downwards. It develops downwards. It's a further development of the upekkha.
The diversity.
Where the actual nature of feeling does not play a great part. But nevertheless, there is still some neutral feeling at that point. Okay. For example, in concentration, when one goes into very deep concentration, jhanas, absorptions. Okay? The lower absorptions are with happy feelings. when you come to the higher absorptions, they're all neutral feelings. The mental state has been refined in its concentration to that point where there's only neutral feeling. Okay? Now beyond that, further refinement in concentration is not dependent on the states of mind, but on the finer natures of the object. So that's why we come to this part.
Insight.
Yeah. Okay, now as you are mindful and they're all spiritual feelings. So there is when you develop further, there's a general movement from spiritual painful feelings to spiritual happy feelings. Yeah? Because when the wholesomeness is stronger, spiritual painful feeling is generally gross. Heavy and gross. And so they become finer and finer, softer and softer. They all become more like happy feelings, spiritual happy feelings. After a point when they become really fine, then they're all neutral feeling. In which case, equanimity state become more dominant, more apparent. Because the feeling is so subtle, other mental states seem to be more obvious. You get me? Because the feeling is like become very soft. You look properly, it's a vibration. But the other mental states like or it may be just soft. So this type of thing overshadow them. So we tend to call it equanimous feeling. When you say equanimity, it's balance, and so it is understood that it is neutral feeling. But to bring about this process of development, process of refinement and sharpening, you also watch them arising and passing away momentary. Vipassana. Impermanence, unsatisfactory, unsatisfactory in this case means more like imperfect, incomplete. And so it develops further and further just by seeing this process of rising and passing away. This is the magic transformation into. Okay. And beyond that, that there are these things. Because in the text it talks about this other three: diversity, unity, and without identification. In terms of those very subtle consciousness as of the jhanas. These are very, very subtle consciousness, very deep. Even the first jhana, the first absorption, is supposed to come in with joy. There already a unification, a fusion, where the subject-object differentiation is no longer there. In such cases, a person is like already gone into empty state. Like he does not know anything. But when you emerge from it, he knows that he knows something. The mind is still alert at that time, but because of the no subject-object differentiation at that moment, it's like he don't know. And even the first absorption has gone through that state. When you come to this neutral levels of absorption, it's much more deeper, very clear. Okay? But we can generally use the same principle to describe spiritual feelings on a more ordinary level. Yeah. For example, diversity and unity. In the beginning, the objects are diverse. Although they're neutral feeling, they're different objects coming and going. Sometimes the sound, sometimes the rising, falling, sometimes the breath, sometimes, no, there's so many of these objects going around, but still you are equanimous. You're still mindful and stable and clear and everything. Yeah. But when it goes even deeper, then the diversity is, there are not so many things anymore. Just one thing or two things, but only one thing. But that thing is arising and passing away very fast, very fine. For example, you're watching consciousness, for a split moment is like a falling star, zap. And yet, within a short moment, you can clearly, distinctly see hundreds of it rising and passing away. Something like that. Although it's just one thing, but many things are happening. So that's why unity better than diversity in sense of concentration. But still, it is vipassana concentration, you know. So eventually the cloud is like, it becomes digital. There comes a point, you know, that it goes beyond. This is the point between the conditioned and unconditioned. It's a jump. Here it is a very strange word they use. They use the word atta mayata. Not so commonly understood, but generally it means beyond the world, nibbana. So while I was giving this talk in Sri Lanka, I was Sri Lanka at that time, Tamasiri Kalambura, there was a nun there, Italian nun, but she's very intelligent, young nun, but very intelligent. She lectures in the university in Taiwan, Bali and everything. She happened to be there. So I asked her how would you describe this word, translate this word? No. So she went back and wrote down this word. And she quotes another sutta, which this word is being used, attamayata. So she writes, Bhante, non-identification, perhaps non-reification would render the sense of not making anything out of that. You know the word reification. What do you understand?
Gosh, that's hard. Like when you reify something, it's like giving it a larger than. Yes.
Let's consult my friend.
My other friend.
To reify. Reify, like from rain king. So you're making something greater than it is.
Yeah. Making up things.
Making up things.
That's my dictionary.
Is that like making the mountain out of the molehill?
But more like giving something a status or quality that it actually doesn't have.
The consideration of an abstract thing as if it were concrete, or of an inanimate object as if it were living. The consideration of a human being as an impersonal object. Process that makes a computable, addressable object out of non-computable, addressable object. linguistic, the transformation of a natural language statement into a form which its actions and events are quantifiable.
I think the first
Something like
the first definition.
Yeah.
So could you repeat that first one again, Bhante?
This one is the consideration of an abstract thing as if it were concrete, or of an inanimate object as if it were living. You see, what happens is, the mind is very clever in making up things. You don't have to teach it. Because it's been doing it since time immemorial. There's also a difference between sankata, asankata, conditioned and unconditioned. Samsara is conditioned, nibbana is unconditioned. Sankhara is nimitta, nibbana is animitta. Nimitta means sign. The other is signless. Sign is give you an example. Once Pandita described this to me. What do you mean by sign and signless? Sign, that means it means that you can describe it. This is like this. For example, Colin is like what? Sylvester Stallone grown old.
And that's not pretty.
Supposed to be a compliment. Take for example.
He's aged well.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
So anyway, it's something like that. It's like that you can describe it. Yeah. Whereas silence you cannot describe it. That means you don't relate it to anything.
Silence.
So it goes beyond that. That idea.
Indescribable?
Indescribable, something like that. The other thing is, sankata. Sankata means formed. Formed in the sense of say, you make not just this form. You make that, for example, mental formation. If you see a square is made of. You make it simpler. Triangle. An equilateral triangle is made of 3 equal sides. Yes? Right. You take one side out, it's no longer it. It is formed. So similarly, it's something like, now I remember something. Matrix. Matrix, they have this program they put in your mind and then you can form things and do things, isn't it? I think there's something like that. You remember? For example, what we experience, we see from what we see. Okay, I see Mr. Fanya, I see him, it's the visual form, I hear him, his voice is there, and so on, the 5 senses, including what I think of him. But that changes, right? And he also changes, So that is a formation. So without all this, there's no Mr. Fun. Even in your mind, it doesn't exist. And so that's what we mean by having signs and having formations. Because when you look at something, you cannot help. You can say, what is this? A ball. Even happiness, you think of happiness, immediately there's these things. There's even a more subtle thing that even when you see neutral feeling, you don't think, I'm not thinking about air anymore. But there's still very subtle formations made up by the mind on it. And that's why it goes to that subtle. So when you want to go past this bed is not easy, you must abandon everything. Totally really let go of everything. It's not enough. Your mind must be sharp enough to go there. But never mind. Slowly, slowly. Take one step at a time. This is only your maiden retreat voice.
Maiden retreat. Going where you've never gone before.
It's only not on the Titanic.
More like a Star Trek.
So, generally for the time being, we stop at a contemplation of feelings here. Time is running out. I'm going to continue.
Another question before,
Yeah.
if possible. Throughout history, humans have described an encounter with this without identification, consciousness or not consciousness or whatever it might be, and are reported to have, many have reported to have gone into a blissful state. Do you think that that's just a mind trick? Or would you say that it's possible?
It is possible, but you don't really know. Unless you are sharp enough to discern what happens to the person. You can communicate and talk with the person what happens. Let's say if the person says he's enlightened and so on, I don't care. It's not my business. But I hope he has, of course. I hope he has. It's not up to me to decide, to say whether he has or not. It's not my responsibility. I really hope he has.
I was saying you, not you personally, but...
Yeah, that's right, generally. So we don't really know unless you investigate into what his experience is. No? Okay, you don't. There's so many things that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
So many lofty things. No, when it really is not the real thing, it does not mean that it's bad. It can be wonderful. Something very lofty. So it's okay. No? And for example, the Buddha during his time, many teachers claim that they have reached to the highest level. Of course, he followed them, and after that he discovered that was not what he wanted. So he had to go and search himself. But later he did say that in the past there have been people who were enlightened. Only during his time there wasn't. But if let's say a person is my student, or at least he considers himself to be my student, then I will suss him out. Not that I would love to, but because it's my responsibility. Yeah, I'd rather not. It's something like a dirty job, no? But it's my responsibility. There are ways of doing it. Okay, now we go. Any more questions?
Well, now. Just curious about, the layers of saucing them up.
Layers of what?
Nothing.
Layers of what?
Sussing it out. She's wondering about how you suss it out when
With
somebody...
your students.
You're not supposed to know. Otherwise, the fun will be lost.
Trade secrets. Trade secret.
Sylvester Stallone should have
Of
won
course,
that.
you ask pertinent questions.
That was wrong.
You ask pertinent questions.
Pertinent questions.
Well, it's
Are there any questions?
just generally.
Pertinent, I mean, if you want to suss a person out, you ask pertinent questions.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
because the feet are, all feelings, no matter what type they are permanent.
Yes.
So we should not identify with any of our feelings,
Yes.
or try to anyway,
We try to.
because, yeah, they'll go away.
Like, this is a feeling, but I'm not hanging on to it, is that what you mean?
Yeah. You don't identify. I'm so happy. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
The sadness doesn't say it's yours. You say.
He thought I was Sylvester Stallone because he thought I might beat him up or something.
But you're old. Like Sylvester Stallone.
Really, he has long hair, doesn't he?
Can I delay the break a little bit more? Just one more question.
Yeah.
What about in a case of, say, justice, where you see a wrong being done and you feel maybe anger or emotion, somebody's being beaten or hurt? So how do you navigate that? Because
First, you control yourself. That means you watch anger and let your anger die down. So instead, if you cannot use some compassion to bring out the compassion, so the mind become mindful, peaceful, then you can take the right action.
skills.
Because when you're angry,
Yeah.
you tend to fumble. Yeah.
Right. But your feeling in that sense is not wrong. It's
It
simply that you don't act on
Whether
it.
it's right or wrong is quite subjective
Right.
to values. But it is unwholesome.
I was just gonna say, it reminds
But
me of the
you
unwholesomeness.
might, I think you're suggesting that if you identify with the action that's taking place, and if you're an activist, you want to do something.
Yes. Yeah, you can do something mindfully.
You can do something, but not in anger.
Yes.
Because in anger, we're
Easily
push
said.
pull, right?
I know.
Well, there's an expression in English that says that revenge is best served cold. Revenge is best served cold. In other words,
No.
Remind me not to get on your back so
And remind me again a couple of weeks later.
Unwholesome.
So now we start, we don't have much time, we start with this topic of consciousness. Consciousness is a very, when you talk consciousness, you're coming to meet with the Master himself, Master of your life, of your existence, and the one behind it. There are many words that is being used. Because this Buddhism and Hinduism and so on is something very old to them. They've been looking and studying it since ancient times. But modern psychology is relatively recent, Came with Freud and Jung and all those. And so sometimes a number of these words are not sufficient. Because they do not stem, these words do not stem from ideas, they stem from experience. They refer to actual some experience. The common word we use is citta. Citta, translated nowadays as consciousness. In the earlier days, translators, they used the word thought.
thought.
Thought. I have this thought. it's not completely wrong, but thought often comes together with the thinking. You know, not necessarily, but often it comes. Probably in those earlier translators, they don't understand what it is without thinking. But nowadays, people are more aware of it, so they use the word consciousness. Take for example, in English, sometimes they use the word mind, and they use the word heart. Yeah. Heart often refers to the feelings. Correct? Not necessarily, often. The stronger implication on feelings. And the mind is a stronger. No, what about thinking? Right? Is it correct?
Well, the thought kind of leads to a feeling, and the feeling to a thought and action, right?
Yes. In the past, I always used the word mind. Because the word consciousness has not always been used. It's not so often used.
Yeah.
Only more recently, with those studying metaphysics, they used the word consciousness often. So what I'm referring to the word is chitta. Chitta. That which knows the phenomena, that knows an object. The knowing itself. When there's a knowing, they must know something. Is the beginning surmise of it. If there's nothing known, then there's no knowing. Okay?
Is that chitta as in bodhicitta?
Yes, in bodhicitta. But there are many types of chitta. We'll come to that later. But that bodhicitta has concepts with Tibetan Buddhism. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything. I'm saying they use these words differently in different traditions. You understand? Because it's been so many years since the change and transformation has taken place. Even the word used in the forest monks who are not so scholastic, and the scholar monks, they use the word in a different way. Because in that sense, the scholar monk is more right. Because it's a word. And he's expert on words. Doesn't mean the forest monk is foolish. He may use the word in his own sense. So the word we usually use in this, I have to say this because we are dealing with this now. There are a lot of misconceptions come from. It's chitta.
Bhante, does that citta include that knowing